Hello YouTube, back once again with my Game of Thrones reviews, and here we are with episode 7, The Gift. Sorry this is kind of late, on Sunday I was a pretty huge mess. I was on like a 15 to 17 hour bus ride that day, so like I just did not have it in me, like I was just disgusting that day, so... But here we are with episode 7, The Gift, and this episode, boy, did a lot happen in this one. Let's talk about, as always, area by area. So first, let's talk about the Wall. John and that White Walker, not the Wilding guy, they headed north to go get the other Wildings, and it was so sad seeing Sam and John say goodbye. I love Sam and John. Just such a great bromance. And, so that happened, and then, oh my god, it's just such a heartbreaking scene, this moment at the Wall. The Maester Pycelle, is that his name? He dies this episode. It was such a heartbreaker moment, just Sam, Gilly, and her child, Sam, just sitting around him and just trying to keep him company as he dies, and just it's so sad to see him die. Gonna miss that guy. I loved him. He was great. Gonna miss him. And oh god! But then that last line he said, get that child as south as you can. I thought that was such a great line. Just like they're realizing things are gonna go to hell soon. So there was that, and and also at the Wall. Then there was this very intense scene when two of the Night's Watchmen tried to essentially rape Gilly. Jesus, there were enough rape with Sansa last week, but what happens but then Sam has a moment of badassness where he tried to defend Gilly, even though Sam gets the shit beat out of him. There's just an amazing scene when Sam stands up, and then they're just like, stand down, Sam. Stand down, Sam, you don't have your lover, Jon Snow, to protect. He's like, no, I don't, but you know what, I do have it. And then Ghost shows up and chases the two of them away. I was like, yes, Sam! It's just such a great Sam moment. And then Sam finally gets what he has always deserved for so long. Gilly finally sleeps with him, and good for Sam. He deserves some happiness. And, so all that happened. Very heartbreaking, very, very heartfelt moments at the Wall this week. So there was that. Then we also hit Stannis' camp, and things are not looking up for Stannis' camp because winter has come, as they said. And he's just struggling to figure out him and thinking about whether they should either keep progressing to Winterfell, or they should just retreat to the Wall and for winter. And this led to the scene that finally made me hit my breaking point with Melisandre, in which she says, well, we could do plan B as always, sacrifice royal blood, and then so it's like, oh, but we don't have anyone. I mean, they're kind of not we kind of lost Gendry. Where is Gendry? I don't think we've seen him since season 3, but anyway. Melisandre said the one thing that I've always defended her about. She broke the one thing I always defended the character about over Sansa's wife. She says, we could always kill your daughter, and I'm just like, go to hell, Melisandre. How dare you? How dare you suggest to kill the adorable child? That, like I said, that was the one thing that made me said she was not nearly as bad as Stannis' wife. The fact that she never suggested to kill that girl, but Melisandre, oh well, God. And so, yeah, she's done. She is officially worthless to me. So, there's that. So, and then we cut away. That's all that happened with Stannis this week. Then also, then we were at Winterfell with Sansa, and Jesus, things did a lot happen. There was this grim scenes. At first Theon goes to Sansa, and you just see Sansa covered in bruises and tears, and you're just like, Sansa, no, Sansa, You don't deserve this. You're better than this. And but then this led to a brilliant scene with Theon when Sansa just says, "Please, Theon, light this candle and hang it in the tower for me. I need this." And it led to just I just love the conversation. Just like Theon just bursts and he's like, "My name's not Theon." Sansa's like, "Yes, you are Theon Greyjoy," and he's like, "No, I am not Theon. Oh, Theon, please just." Balls up long enough to get some redemption, then you can die. That's my only thoughts on Theon nowadays. And this led to a scene though when Theon actually runs into Ramsay, who turns out to be in the tower where he's supposed to light the candle, and Theon breaks down and tells Ramsay Sansa's master plan, and oh boy did things not work out for them. But this led to an amazing conversation scene between Sansa and Ramses when Ramses is like, "Yes, I will be the warden of the North," and then Sansa's like, "Well, what if your father has a son?" And then he's just like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" She's just like, "Well, he'll be legitimately born. He'll have more claims than you." And then Ramses just starts getting angry. He's just like, "No, I lost my bastard name by royal decree from the king." And then says like, "You mean Tommen the bastard, the incest bastard?" And then you just see Ramsay's eyes start twitching in rage. That was amazing. Great to see Sansa just stand up for herself. And then you also see Sansa grab a very sharp nail and didn't play into this episode. Want to see if that plays in later. If there's gonna be a scene where Sansa just brutally kills someone. I don't think she's ever killed anyone in this series so far. And so that happened. But then this led to a very, very grim scene when it turns out that old woman who was basically told Sansa she still has friends in the North, you saw that Ramsay basically skinned her, and as he does, and wow, things are not looking good for Sansa. But we also saw in the distance again, we saw Brienne and Pod. They're still out there. They're still waiting to make a move. So there's always that flicker of hope. Then there was also what's going on across the seas at Dorne. Oh, always great to see some Dorne action back again. There hasn't been nearly enough Dorne this season. Well, at first it was just a quick scene between Jaime and his daughter, in which Jaime's like, "I'm here to save you," and she's like, "I don't want to be saved. Like, you guys suck. I like it here. It's nicer here." And I like that. I like Jaime basically. Everything being thrown in his face, just like, yeah, maybe it does have suck in King's Landing. I really like that. But then this led to an amazing scene in the dungeons when at first you gotta hear Bronn's Bronn, not Bran. Bronn's beautiful singing voice again, and I just love because he's across the cell from the sad snakes who were part of the assassination, and it's like how two of them just look so annoyed. And the third one that's like, at least he's a good singer, because yes, that actor does have a very good voice, wait, is it Bronn or Brad? I'm sorry, I just forgot. Yeah, no, that guy does have a very good singing voice. It's always great to hear him doing some singing, and this led to one of the most interesting flirting scenes of all time that involved flirtation, breast, poison, antidotes, and yeah, that's all I can say. That would be really cool if Bronn ends up with one of the sand snakes. That would be interesting. That's how it works in Game of Thrones. Just want to flirt with someone, some poison and antidote always helps. So there was that. And it was just great seeing Bronn doing some singing. Hope he does some more singing in a few more episodes. That would be great. And so there's that. Then there's what's going across the seas with Ser Jorah and Tyrion. And Ser Jorah gets sold as a fighter. He's basically as a fighter in the and that's also great when Tyrion says, like, "No, I'm his fighting partner. I'm also a good fighter." And everyone starts laughing, and then Tyrion grabs the chain he's holding up. He's like stuck. He's bound by, and the guy holding falls over, and they start just beating the guy with the chains. That was great seeing Tyrion do that. So yeah, Ser Jorah and Tyrion, they're basically getting to the minor leagues of the fighting pits, but something happens that definitely catches Ser Jorah's attention, in which in which what happens is he learns that if you make it to basically but the Colosseum, I guess you might as well call it, you might as well call it, he basically just says, he's told that they will fight in front of the queen, Dany, in which Dany catches Ser Jorah's attention. But then he hears something more interesting, something more interesting happens, in which Dany is told that she's supposed to view some of the more minor league fighting matches. And at first she's disgusted, but then Ser Jorah's helmet comes out, and then instead of just brutally killing the people, just kind of just knocks them out, and just beats which makes her smile. And then she's just like, "Who are you?" And he takes his helmet off, and it's Ser Jorah. And I love that scene. I love the scene that happened. I love how Dany doesn't just say behead him or kill him. She just turns away and just says, "Get him out of my sight." And but then Tyrion breaks free, and instead of running for the hills, he runs outside and says "Oh no, my name is Tyrion, my name's Tyrion Lannister. I'm here to serve you. Ser Jorah brought me to you as a gift, and so want to see how this trio works out, essentially. And that's a major departure from the books, I gotta say. That has never happened, yet, at least in the books. So, want to see how that plays out in a further episode. Very interesting new change for these characters. Then Viserys Varys though, whatever he's is still running to Dany, get to this group. Then also we also hit there was also an interesting conversation between Dany and I forget whatever her lover boyfriend guy is. I forgot his name is that guy. I just love the whole scene. I love this very interesting scene, when Dany's basically being tempted by being pure angry dictatorship, basically being tempted to be the Mad King, when he basically just suggests what you could do. The day of the arena, you can just gather all the high noble lords, all those people, and just kill them all. Just get rid of anyone who protests slavery, and it will be gone. I love that. I love how Dany's essentially being tempted by the whole idea. I could just kill everyone that could possibly be a nuisance to me. But this could also make her become like her father, the Mad King, which I find really interesting development with these characters. So there was all that. That was about Dany. And finally, let's talk about what I thought was by the most interesting part of this episode. What was going down in King's Landing? Because my God, did stuff happen this week. Well, at first we saw grandmother Tyrell. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting her name. She talks to the High Sparrow, and she's basically just what do you want? And I just love how no one can buy the whole fact that he's just I just follow the religion. I'm just trying to be a religious man here. And she's like, well, what do you mean by that? And he's just I just want to show, I'm just doing this to, I'm just pretty much doing this to a certain degree just to show that, everyone is bound by the law. You can't, even if you're even if you're the queen, you're bound by the law. You can't get it, it's not right. And he's basically just there'll be a trial for them. They probably won't get the worst of punishments that they do, but I need to show that everyone's under the same law. And this all led to an amazing scene with Lena Headey this week, when she goes to visit Marjorie down in the cells, and Marjorie, and she basically tries to pretends like she's showing concern to Marjorie, just oh, I'm so sorry about these horrible things. And you can just tell Lena Headey is just, Cersei is just being basically wants to burst out laughing with joy, just seeing Marjorie in just shambles, and Marjorie's just fuck you, Cersei. And then Cersei's oh, I'm so sorry, I'll do everything I can to get you out of here. But then, oh my God, this was the huge game changer of this episode. When Cersei tries to leave, the High Sparrow basically just says hey, one of our new followers, your cousin or nephew, one of the two, he told me how your children are of incest. And then they lock Cersei up. And then they lock Cersei up and throw her in prison, lock her up, and Lena Headey just says this amazing line when she just says, look at my face, this will be the last face you'll see before I kill you. And I love the line she also says when she's being dragged away. She's just you can't do this to me, I am the queen. I just love how Cersei just does not understand how much power she lost, how she is at the end of her goddamn rope. And I love this whole fact because, like, at first I was also like with the high sparrow, I was like, why are you so mean to Marjorie and her brother? Like, I mean, like, Cersei's done some serious shit too. Like, I love that. I also love how Cersei also thought that, how she just basically thought she had this alliance with the High Sparrow by giving his people weapons, his followers weapons, but like, no, just the High Sparrow basically just says like, no, I follow the religion and you have done some disgusting things, Cersei. You have had incest, you have children of incest, you are disgusting. And I love how Cersei was truly stabbed by her own sword and she is truly gone to hell. So all I can say, this was a great episode of Game of Thrones. So many interesting revelations, so many interesting moments, so heartfelt, so heartbreaking, so funny. It's weirdly funny to a few scenes, and such a game changer to few characters. And so all I can say, really excited for the last 3 episodes. Probably the best episode this season, I would say. And YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.